Hey everybody, it's Liz. Today I have another Halloween project, of course. And like I said in my previous video, I've been trying to challenge myself to use my non-Halloween dyes and make them Halloween, because I feel like, we can use our dyes all throughout the year, make them more versatile, obviously to get more life out of your dyes. So I've got some more ideas, and hopefully you guys are inspired to, look at your dyes in different ways to create, other than what they're intended for, you know what I mean? So I've made a couple of different things, and of course I'll share the dyes that I used and some of the ideas that I came up with, and I'll have a couple of videos like that because I've been making a lot of items. I just, you get started on one and then you're like, oh, okay, I got another idea. So I'll be sharing those in the next couple of videos. So first things first, let me share with you really quick the first thing I created, and I thought they came out really cute and they're fun. And I'm going to try not to say cute so much because I realized I played my last video and I was like, oh my god, I said cute a lot, but can't help it. Everything is so cute. Anyway, okay, this is what I decided to make. Look at this. Isn't this cute? See, there it is again. Cute. Okay, so this is basically an embellishment that I decided to create, in the form of a shaker. It is a little gumball machine, and I feel like this can be used by itself as a tag, like some kind of gift tag or something, to include on a gift. Or you can use this, once you make the embellishment itself, you could always add it to a card or a layout or any type of project. So these are actually really fun. So let me share with you the dye that I used. So if you guys have it in your stash, you might, bust it out and make a couple of cute little gumball machines. So this is the dye here. It is by Sizzix. And this is called, let's see if it'll focus, it's the Gumball Machine, and there's the number if anyone is interested. And my particular die also came with an embossing folder that I also used on my little gumball machine. Here's the embossing folder right here. And I really like that, it did come with that because it adds, nice little detail to the gumball machine itself. So basically what I did, I started off by cutting two of them out using some black cardstock, and of course I created a shaker. I made two different types of shakers, basically trying to find out which one I like best that would work for, what I intended. This one is more dimensional. There is some foam in the middle. And what I did here, after I cut them out, and of course for this middle part here, I took my X-Acto knife, and once I embossed it, it made the line, so therefore I could tell where to cut. So with my X-Acto knife, I cut out the cardstock piece, and that's how I was able to adhere the acetate to the back, and of course, using some double-sided tape. And I adhered it on here, and for my background, I just, added some white cardstock so that you would be able to see, the shaker bits inside. And I created these little, they're like supposed to be gumballs, but they're eyeballs. And I just cut out these little circles out of white cardstock, and then I had these googly eyes from the Dollar Tree that I cut apart to take that pupil part out, and I added it to my my little circles. And I thought about first using the googly eyes in here, but they wouldn't fit. They kept getting stuck. And so that's why I made my own eyeballs. And then I threw in some sequins, some chunky glitter, and of course some cute little spiders. I think I got those at Michael's last year. My only regret for this particular one, I love how it shakes and you can see all the bits and stuff, but I really should have added a little more sequins. I thought it would be too full, and that's why I didn't add so many, but once you shake it, shake it around, they kind of move all in one direction, and it really could have added, I could have added more sequin bits, but it's all good. It's still really adorable. And so this little tag I basically made with a stamp. Let me see if I have my stamp set really quick. Let's see, I got that stamp set from Tuesday Morning last year, and it came in a pack of several stamps, and so they're just these little woodblock stamps. And this little tag is a die that I also picked up at Tuesday Morning last year. I cut it out from orange cardstock, inked the edges with black soot, and of course used this stamp to stamp Beware on it. And then I tied it all together with some black and white baker's twine, and that's it. So it turned out really, really cute. And of course you can definitely, like I said, use this as an embellishment on its own, use it as a tag. You can write a message on the back, maybe some white gel ink, or even, just adhere another piece of paper to the back. Or use it by itself, or again, add it to a card. And so I made a second one, and this one I made a little different. What I wanted to do for this one is make it to where I didn't have to use any foam. And I kind of don't like how you use the foam and the double-sided tape and all the glitter pieces stick to the sides, you know what I mean? So I tried a different method. This one is not as dimensional, as you can see. For this one, I just cut out the 2 pieces. Again, I use my X-Acto knife to cut out the center. I have some background here. It's just a piece of scrap paper from one of my Halloween collections. And I added a bunch of glitter in there. I've got some bats in there. I've got some chunky glitter. And I didn't add a whole lot of sequins in there. Just basically chunky glitter and then some of those little bats. And then the same little type of tag. This one, of course, I wanted to create it in purple. So that's why I have some of the purple and silver elements, and then tied it all together with a baker's twine piece, and that was it. I love how it's embossed, and this is so cool. This piece here, I did use some foam tape to give it dimension. And again, these are really cute and simple, and again, it's a great way to use your dies, you know, non-traditional or non-Halloween dies, and you can use them in different ways, and I think it's just a great idea. So definitely, if you guys have this, give it a try. This particular die is really fun. So I made those, and then I was on Pinterest, and I'm going to show you the image really quick. And I was inspired by this. Isn't that cute? And they're basically mason jars, Halloween mason jars, and I saw that on Pinterest, and I loved it. I was like, oh my god, that looks like so much fun. How about I do, you know, I make them out of paper. I have a mason jar die, and I'll share that in a second. And then I'll share what I created, and I think it turned out really cute. I probably shouldn't have reached across, but okay, for my second project, I used this die here, and I'm sure some of you have it. It is also by Sizzix. There's the number, and it is the mason jar. Sorry, it won't focus, but trust me, it says mason jar. And this die also came with an embossing folder, and the embossing folder looks like this. Oops, sorry. And this is the mason jar. So again, it's by Sizzix, so I'm sure they still sell it. So that was a really neat set. And take a look what I created. I think they are adorable. And I made several of them because I was just so inspired. Once I got started, I just wanted to keep going, you know. Sorry, my phone's going crazy. My son is in Florida, and I know the hurricane's coming, and so he's, you know, calling me left and right and stuff, so I'll call him right back as soon as I'm done. But yeah, I'm really worried. I hope he's okay, but I've talked to him like 5 times today. He's evacuating. So, alright guys, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to, you know, derail from the video, but so this is so cute. Look at this. This is so adorable. So I just created mason jar monsters, but of course using my die, and I think they're just adorable. You cut out 2 of them, of course, for the back so that you can have an area to write a message. And again, these would make great little gift tags, right? All you have to do is punch a hole up here, add some baker's twine or some ribbon, and it would be a really great tag. And for the mummy, I just cut out strips of cardstock that coordinated or actually matched the paper itself, and I ripped them, and that way I could ink the edges and kind of give them this ragged look. I inked them with black soot, and then I just kind of glued them onto my base of my mason jar die cut. And then for the background, I did add a piece of black cardstock that kind of runs across because I knew I wanted the look of like, you know, his eyes are, you know, coming through, or like, you know, like the shadows or whatever, you know what I'm talking about. Like, he's a mummy, okay, so he's wrapped in this gauze, and it just turned out so stinking cute. Oh my gosh. For the nose, it's just a small circle punch for my stash, and then this is a small little die from the Jack-o'-lantern set by Tim Holtz, and I just used it. It's actually supposed to be the jack-o'-lantern's nose, but I think it makes a great little mouth, so I added that on there. And then all my edges are inked with black soot, and of course you could see where I embossed it to make, you know, give it more detail and, you know, give it that look so you could tell it's a mason jar, you know. So it's adorable. That's absolutely adorable. So there's the mummy. I also made a Frankenstein. And then this one I saw on the Sizzix blog. They made one using that mason jar die, and I was like, oh, that is so cool. And so this one is very similar to that, of course. I did change up the hair on mine, and then I did give him googly eyes instead of like just regular cardstock eyes. And then this part right here also comes from that die, that mason jar die. It's like a little cut apart. Let me see. You probably won't be able to see it, but it's right here. So I thought that would be great for like the little bolts, you know, on the side of his head. Really, really cute. And again, same thing. You have to cut out 2. It gives it more sturdiness, and of course gives you an area. Now this one, I put the bolts on. I meant to do it in between the 2 pieces, you know what I mean, so that you wouldn't be able to see this part, but I got carried away, and then I did not do that until I realized after I had already glued this on. So, but you can add this to the middle, and that way you won't be able to see this. And you can use this area for your message or your sentiment or whatever you want to include on your little tag. And again, punch a little hole on top, add some baker's twine or a ribbon. Perfect little gift tag. So it turned out really nice. And so this one is all the pieces from that mason jar, because it comes with like these little pieces that I cut apart for the eyebrows. I cut one to make these tiny little pieces for like the little stitches on his mouth, and then again that's just a little circle punch, some googly eyes. This is, you know, the little piece from the mason jar. And then for the hair, I'm going to show you what dye I used, because this dye is actually very versatile, believe it or not. You wouldn't think so, but it is. I found different ways to use it, and it is the Tim Holtz. Oops, sorry, I'm going to show you real quick. I don't have the packaging, so that's why I'm showing you on my phone, but it's the Tim Holtz Scary Jack-o'-lantern dye. It's the movers and shapers, and I use that quite a bit on my project. Unfortunately, I don't have the packaging. I always throw it away, but it's adorable, right? I mean, look at that thing. And then you can shake his little eyes, and it's just so cute. So that is the Frankenstein, and why stop there? Let's make a witch. Isn't that adorable too? Oh my gosh, I love it. So the same thing, of course, green cardstock, because she's, you know, a green witch. And oh, I forgot to show you where I forgot to tell you about the hair. This is actually the smile from the jack-o'-lantern die that I just shared with you. And all I did is, when I cut this apart, it left the negative piece, you know what I mean, where it's like it was a larger piece of cardstock, but it left these little, you know, where it cut it out. And so all I did is I turned it around on here and then run it through my machine so that it could cut this part off the top of his head. And that's it. So it was so easy. Now for her hair, I used this smile from the jack-o'-lantern die and placed it like this over her head to create the hair, right? I mean, how cool is that, right? So after I embossed it and then I inked the edges with black soot, I added the little hair piece. This is the only item that obviously is not a die. This is from the Silhouette Cameo. I found this really nice witch hat. I thought it was just perfect. I love this part right here. And I enlarged it to fit her head, and I just have that on top. And of course, I mean, this looks perfect as hair, just kind of, you know, coming out from the hat, and it's just adorable. And then this is that little piece from the mason jar that I have as her eyebrows, some googly eyes. And this is one of the eyes from that jack-o'-lantern die. So I turned it sideways, I inked it, and it looks perfectly as a witch nose, right? And then there's that mouth one more time. It's not really a mouth, it's the jack-o'-lantern's nose. But how cute, right? It makes a little tiny mouth. So I think it turned out adorable. And then I gave her green ears. That's the little piece. It was supposed to go right here on the mason jar when you cut out your mason jar, but it's perfect as little ears. And then of course this one I did right. I did tuck it inside before I adhered my second piece of mason jar die cut. So it's just adorable. I love it. Oh my gosh. So there's the witch. And then like I said, once I got started, I'm like, oh, let me make more. This is a ghost, and this is so cute too. It's simpler. I didn't have to do a whole lot to him. White cardstock, ink the edges, emboss it, cut out a few ovals using black cardstock and adhere them on there with some foam tape, and it just makes an adorable little ghost. But because he was a little plain, I felt like he needed something, and I just added this ribbon, this black and white stripe ribbon, to the top. And I just made a little bow, and then I added this tiny little sticker spider to the center of the bow, and it completed the whole look. I just felt like he needed something, you know what I mean? It was just white cardstock with black little ovals in the middle. So now he's a little girl, or she is a little girl ghost, so really cute. And then the last one is the jack-o'-lantern, and he turned out amazing. I love it. Again, same process, see? And this time I used this piece here as the, oh my gosh, what is this called? The stalk? Is that what the right word? I don't know, but you guys know what I'm talking about, right? I cut it out of brown cardstock and adhered it to the top. That way I could add these little leaves. So it's like, I forgot what this thing is called. Oh my gosh, I can't think right now. But it turned out really cute. So I have it on there, and again, I added the leaves. The leaves are from dies from my stash, but what I did, I wanted them to have some texture. So I used another embossing folder, and this one's also by Sizzix. This is actually the Tim Holtz one. It's the Tattered Leaves embossing folder, and I just, stuck my leaves in here and run it through the machine, and it embossed them really nice. So they look like really cool leaves, and then of course some vintage photo on the edges. This is distressed or inked with black soot. And then here you can see the jack-o'-lantern pieces. Again, this is the one that I used, or one of these is the one I used for the witch's nose. This is the piece that I used for both the mummy and the witch's mouth. And then this is the piece that I used for the hair on the witch and part of the hair on Frankie. So it's a very versatile die, and you can definitely use it on different things. You just have to look at things in a different way. You know what I mean? This is the mouth, turn it upside down, and it's hair. It's perfect. So there's the pumpkin. Super adorable. So I made those, and like I said, these would make great embellishments on a card, because of course you can just create a tag, or a card, I'm sorry, and add it to the front as your focal point, or easily just leave them alone, add some ribbon, include them as a tag. It's a perfect little embellishment. The last thing that I made were some goodie bags, and like I said, I'm just trying to find different ways to use my dies, and I have two of them. Let me share the first one. And for this, I decided to use another non-traditional or non-Halloween die. And this is the Sizzix Cupcake and Cherry. Sorry, let me see if it focuses. There it is. Cupcake and Cherry. And I just thought it would be so cute on a little goodie bag. And so the base of the goodie bag is actually a real favor bag that I picked up a Tuesday morning. And these are it right here. I got these in the party section, and I think I got them last year, so I've had them for a while. Don't know if they still have them, but you can definitely check. If you're interested, here is the number. But they were $1.99 for 12, and the black and white stripes are perfect, I think, for Halloween. So definitely had to grab those, and that was my whole intent, was to save them for Halloween. I think I got them like at the beginning of the year, not last year, but beginning of this year. So that is the treat bag itself, and then I took some pieces of pattern paper that I had in my stash. I think this one is from the Teresa Collins Haunted Hollows. I cut out a piece for my background, inked the edges with black soot, and adhered it on there. And then I wanted to definitely use these spiderweb doilies that I've had since last year from Michaels. I picked them up after Halloween, but they came in handy. So these are it right here. I'm sure a lot of you have them. They're already, cut up for you, glittered up, absolutely perfect size too. So I adhered it on to the back, and then I made my cupcake, and it turned out adorable. The base, or the cupcake liner, is actually black cardstock, and I used another embossing folder. And again, this is a great way to use your embossing folders too. If you're like me, you probably have a lot, and you don't use them nearly as much as you should. So this is the embossing folder that I used for the cupcake base, or the bottom of the cupcake. It's also by Tim Holtz. I think it's called Swirls. But to me, I don't know, it's Halloweenish to me, So, but again, so another way to use your non-Halloween items. So I embossed the base of the cupcake. I cut out this piece from some scraps of pattern paper. I cut out this from glitter cardstock, and then this also glitter cardstock that I adhered on there, of course, with some foam tape to give the whole cupcake some dimension. And then I added some baker's twine, and I made these sweet little tiny tags here that say "Eat Me." And then these little tiny tags are from the Tim Holtz tag die. It's one of the tiny ones, and I cut it out using a scrap of paper. And then the stamp is from a stamp collection that I bought, oh my gosh, like 3 years ago. It's an Alice in Wonderland stamp set. So, I mean, it's just perfect. Eat Me. I also have a Drink Me, and I have a couple other things. I love Alice in Wonderland. You guys know that. But I thought that was just so cute on the cupcake. And then I have it attached or adhered on here with a little bow, baker's twine. And then for the cherry on top of the cupcake, it's actually one of these stickers that I think everybody's picking up right now from Tuesday morning. I happened to get this last year from TJ Maxx clearance for $1, so I had it in my stash, and I actually found some at Tuesday morning. I grabbed 2 more packs because I think they're really cute. They're by Pebbles. So if you guys go to Tuesday morning, check these out because they are there for $1.99. So I used the pumpkin because I thought it would make a cute little cherry on top. So I have them on there. And then I used some enamel dots for just a little bit of color. And then for the top, I have one of these clothespins from Target Dollar Spot last year, and it says Spooky. And then I have here this little plastic spider. These are from, I think someone gifted these to me, but I just don't remember who. It might have been Sabrina, I don't remember. But there were a bunch of these little pieces. There's bats, ghosts, pumpkins, and skulls. And they're plastic. They're kind of like buttons. And so, oops, sorry, making a lot of noise here. I thought they would be really great on top of the little clothespin. So I just added the spider and I gave him tiny little rhinestone eyes, and just adorable. And of course, you know, I could take this off, open this up. I'm going to add some crinkle paper in here and then add a goodie, a treat. I can even make a card and put the card in there, you know what I mean? You can use these for a lot of different things. So I think these are a really cute idea, and of course great way to use your cupcake dies if you have any. I mean, because I think you can make this out of any cupcake die. You don't have to use the one I did. That's the one that I had, and it was just perfect for what I needed. And so I made a second one. Same, you know, techniques and whatnot, but this one I made in purple because I wanted to, you know, use a lot of my purple paper. I have a few bits left, and I just thought this one would be perfect. So this one I reversed the cupcake. So this is cardstock embossed, and then this is just, you know, pattern paper. And again, I have a little piece of baker's twine with my little Eat Me tag. And there's a spiderweb doily again, and some enamel dots, and then this I cut out from the purple glitter cardstock, and then from the white cardstock or glitter cardstock. And then here I have one of the cute little spiders from that sticker collection I just shared with you for the top of the cupcake, and it's just adorable. And then here I have another clothespin. That one says Trick or Treat. And then here is, I've included one of those little bats that I shared with you. And again, I gave him some rhinestone eyes and hot glued him to the clothespin. So it's just perfect. So, I mean, these are some ideas, you guys, for definitely bring out your dies that are not Halloween, because you can find ways to incorporate them and make them Halloween. Why not use them year-round? You know what I mean? We spend enough money on dies. I know I do. So why not be able to use them year-round if you can just, you know, open your imagination and find different ways. So hopefully I've inspired you to do that. And I have some more that I've created, so I'll probably share those in my next video. Because I've got, like, once I got started, it's just like, everything just kind of came to me. But anyway, thank you so much. I had a lot of fun crafting. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think. And if you guys have any suggestions as to what other dies I can do, that'd be great too. And definitely, you know, you guys inspire me. So hopefully I inspire you as well. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys real soon. Bye-bye.